so much, ma'am, for your humorous, sparkling thoughts and observations, for the rich review of the works of the novelist. Now on to the surprise of the field of fiction, the pupa of our dreams, the butterfly of our program. Ma'am, what an honor to find that it is all so real. Over to Mrs. Anita Nair.
Good morning, everybody. After that very interesting introduction by Dr. Pramila, I really have nothing much to say because I think she said it all. But okay, let me just, I used to debate in school, so what I would do is that I will just go over her own points and try and tell you a little bit more about myself and about my work. Right, now the first thing of course is, and I do mention this a lot everywhere that I speak in India, Naya is just a second name for me. It could have been Pillai, it could have been Chaudhary, it could have been Banerjee, it could have been anything. The reason why I had to have Naya in my name has to do with the school I went to, where there were two other Anitas in the class, and I happened to be good academically. So when I was in school, we still had ranks, first rank, second rank, and stuff like that. So I usually used to get the first or the second rank. So there I was with all these wonderful marks, but I had 16th rank in the class, and we were a class of about 32 students. So I was, middle. And that got my mother a little worried. I come from a very typical middle class background where children had to come within the first 5 ranks, or the parents thought it was something wrong with them. And so my mother came to school. My mother has only come to school twice. Once when in first standard I bit somebody. And when I was in class 3, when this thing happened, where I got the 16th rank. So then they examined the mark sheets and discovered that this other girl called Anita, who had the slightly lower marks, was the one who should have got the 16th rank, but instead of which she had been given the first rank. And I had got the 16th rank. So then the teachers decided that they would, give me my full name. Right, before that I have to tell you that I had an initial called PK, just how generally we do it in Kerala. We don't have a Nair as a second name. We take the family Tarwad name, so this is PK. Now I grew up in a place called Avadi, and I went to a Kendriya Vidyalaya school where we spoke, actually I studied up to class 8. I did my history, geography, civics in Hindi. So we all spoke Hindi actually, and PK was generally PK, drunk, So the boys in my class, I went to a co-ed school, the boys in my class used to tease me so much. So I had eliminated the PK, and so it was this Anita, and then of course I refused to have PK in my name. So then the Naya happened. So that is how I became a Naya. And before that I have to also tell you, this is one of my favorite stories. So the thing is, I never knew what it was to be academically good or whatever. So when I was in class 2, I had this, I got this exam paper for mathematics, and I took it home and hid it because I thought I was bottom of the class. And I was really afraid that my parents would be upset with me. And then when my mother was cleaning out the cupboard, she discovered this paper which had 100 on 100. And she said, "Why have you hidden this?" And I said, "Well, you see, the thing is, nobody else is 100 on 100. So I think I must have done something wrong." So that has somehow been characteristic of the way I am as a person. In the sense that, on the one hand, I do want to so belong to the world that I'm part of. And for whatever reason, I'm a natural rebel in that sense. So, someone who goes against the system. And that has been part of the way I have always thought, and that has also characterized the way I write. So, going back to my childhood, I grew up in the middle of Tamil Nadu, in Avadi, speaking Hindi. I couldn't speak Tamil till I left Avadi, which was when I was about 18. That was the first time I stepped out, and at that time was this, I forget who the director is, but there was this film called Pasi that had come. And so I learned to speak Tamil with a nice Tamil, Madras slang. So I could only speak that. I still can't speak good Tamil as in what you call Sen Tamil and so on. But I speak very nice, good Madras Tamil. In fact, now that I come more and more into Chennai, this person who looks after my house, and we have long, convoluted conversations in Tamil, including we were doing this role playing last evening, which I think I should, take you through. So we were waiting for this guy to bring an amp to the house. He said he would bring it in by about 6 o'clock, and so we were waiting. He didn't turn up. And so Shyam, who looks after my house, was telling me, see, look at these guys, So we said, let's do this role play. So all of you, I suppose, understand Tamil. So it was basically like Shyam was playing Shyam and I'm playing the shopkeeper. And Shyam says, "Enna sir, neenga sonneenga 6 manikku edutittu varinga." So I said, "Enna sir, the paiyan Paris la irundhu phone pannittu sollichu indha mari kedaikala. Appuram naan wait பண்ணிட்டே இருந்தேன்." So then Shyam says, "இல்ல சார், உங்ககிட்ட நான் சொன்னேன் இந்த மாதிரி நீங்க எடுத்துட்டு வரீங்கன்னா கரெக்டா 6 மணிக்கு எடுத்துட்டு வரணும்." So I said, "என்ன சார் நான் செய்யறது? எனக்கு கூட வேலை இருக்கு. எனக்கு கூட ஷாப் மூடிட்டு தான் வர முடியும். பசங்க வெளியில போகணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க." So we just go on this, and then he says, "But இல்ல சார், நீங்க ஒரு பேஜ் சொன்னீங்கன்னா பேஜ் அது மாதிரியே இருக்கணும்." And then I say, "என்ன சார் நீங்க சொல்றீங்க? உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா என் கஸ்டமர்ஸ் யாரெல்லாம் இருக்காங்கன்னு? பக்கத்துல பட்டாஸ் பால் இருக்கு." So sorry about that. And then we go on and say, உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா சார், ECRல எல்லாரும் ரஜினிகாந்த்ல இருந்து மோகன்லால் வரை என் கஸ்டமர்ஸ், அவங்க வருவாங்களா என்கிட்ட இவ்வளவு வருஷமா நான் இப்படி இருந்தேன்னா. So we go on like that, and so this is the other thing. Why I'm talking to you about this is one of the things that has helped me write the way I do. Because what I do is, at the point when I'm writing about a character, I become the character. In fact, I was talking to David Wesley, right? The person picking up. Yeah, and I was telling him about how the way I write is that it is method writing for me. So I have to slip into the skin of the character that I'm writing about. So at that point, I might be the amplifier shop owner, or I might be Idris, the 17th century traveler. I could be Akhila, the character from Ladies Coupe. I could be Koman, the Kathakali dancer from Mistress. I could be J.A. Krishnamurti from Lessons in Forgetting, or I could be Mukundan from The Better Man, or I could be Inspector Gowda from Cut Like Wound. It really doesn't matter to me, but at that point of time, I become that character, and that is the way I write. And one of the reasons why I think I can do that is also because of believing that I don't really belong to any part of India. I grew up in Chennai, spent all my summer vacations in Kerala. I had a brief stint at education in Kerala. And the second half of my life, I lived in Bangalore. And I'm somebody who, pretty much like the butterfly in my article that has been referred several times today, is someone who flits around. So in a year, last year I did this count, I discovered I'd spent 60 days in Kerala, 60 days in Chennai, and about 2 weeks in Valpare, which again, another part of Tamil Nadu, in the Annamalai Hills, and some part in Bangalore, and the rest of it was God knows where, in various countries around the world, airports, people's guest rooms, and so on. So because of that, what happens is, for me, any place is home, any language is mine, any person is somebody I know. I don't believe in strangers, my people, aliens, nothing like that. Everybody, we connect at one level, which is that we're all human. Or to go back to famous Sherlock line, you cut us, we bleed. You hurt us, we cry, etc. So I think one of the most important things about being a writer or about being a creative artist is to be able to negate the self. The moment you believe that I, as a person, the ego is important, what happens is that that ego makes its presence felt in everything that you do, whether you sing, whether you write, whether you dance, whether you act. And the most important thing about creativity is to be able to negate that ego, negate that sense of identity, to be able to absorb, to be able to transfer that observations into artistic expression. And that has been, again, something that I have used as my mantra all the time, saying that I, as a person, am not important here. I, as Anita, has no role in what I am writing. Well, I do have certain points of view about the world. I do have some belief. I do have some ideological value systems, all of which has a certain role to play, but at no point am I going to turn around and write something which would be construed as a polemic. Because I think one of the most important things for any artistic person is to be non-judgmental. My beliefs may be X, your beliefs may be Y, but that doesn't mean mine is better than yours or yours is better than mine. We put it out into the world, and we, all of us, derive from it and take from it what is right for us. So I think in many ways, writing to me is also more than just artistic expression. For me, it is also the way I connect with the world around me, the world that is unknown to us. Sometimes when I sit down and I look at what I have written, or when I attend a function like this, and I hear people talk about my work, I'm always overwhelmed by this thought, where did it all come from? Because I have absolutely zero academic, construct. I've had very little exposure in that sense. I haven't, I've traveled extensively, but I haven't done other kind of things and so on. But obviously it all comes from somewhere. So it is observation, it is reading, it's a lot of that. But there's also, I think, something that as I get older, that I believe in, that there is a greater unconscious power that finds, people who are probably vehicles to carry forth that thought process, to carry forth certain abstracts and give it greater definition. So I don't take whatever talent I have lightly at all. I take it with great with great seriousness. And I say this again and again, I am not somebody who takes me as a person seriously, but I take my work very seriously, I take my art very seriously, because I know that, like I have mentioned, to be able to perform 1 minute of Kathakali on the stage, they say you require 100 hours of practice. So for me to write 1 page, 100 words, forget about 1 page, 100 words, I know it takes me 100 hours of thinking, because I need to make sure that the thoughts that I actually write are sifted and are so carefully, written that not one word should be out of place. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I mean, there are many critics who tear apart my work and decimate me. But apart from, as a writer myself, I need to feel that what I have done is given it my best, and to be able to feel that with every piece of writing I do, that I have broken boundaries for myself. It's a bit like pole vaulting, you know. I mean, if you were to stay at, say, 6 foot, and you just say that I can do this easily, what is the point? You need to, at every jump that you do, every vault that you cross the pole, you need to increase the bar. And that is one of the things that I have laid down for myself, saying that each time I probably have to try and up my possibilities. I know that I can do some things easily. I can write about food, I can write about forbidden love, I can write about sex, I can write about things. I can write about it nicely in 200 different ways. But that's not going to make me happy. What am I going to do at the end of having written a book and having spent, say, like 2 years or 5 years or 6 years, depending on which book it is? At the end of it, when I look back upon it, I need to feel that what I have done was worth its value, was worth the time I spent on it, because one of the things that you do as a writer or as an artist is that you are consumed by what you do. You put your family on hold, you put your friendships on hold, you put your personal life on hold, and you allow it to take over your life entirely. At the end of it, if I have produced a shoddy, not even shoddy, but a mediocre piece of work, then I have no excuses. I have just compromised for nothing. So I am very hard on myself, and I would urge